all to you, Mr. Fazil.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This will be a slightly different presentation because obviously I don't have much technical technical points, technical things to present to you. I represent Penang Institute. We are one of the major think tanks in Malaysia, and certainly an important institution in Penang, as we are one of the advisors to the government in terms of public policy. So, as you know, Penang Institute is actually supported and funded by the state government to help the government in terms of providing them with public policy ideas and structures for us to help make the Penang a better place in terms of socio-economic and social on the social side as well. Today, I'm just going to give you some ideas, some points about what the government is doing in terms of the ESG compliance. I would say that the beginning of all this for Penang, it has its roots in the competency, accountability, and transparency policy by the Penang state government, which was established in 2008. So this was basically something that the Penang state government has established for us to begin looking at the governance side of the ESG. And the first ever overarching documentation for the future plan of Penang is encapsulated in this document, document called Penang 2030. As people who live in Penang would be very familiar with this, and this was created by Penang Institute actually. This was established in August 2018. So in Penang 2030, you can find a lot of elements that has to do with ESG. Of course, the main overarching statement for Penang 2030 is the creation of a family-focused, smart and green state. So this is basically the main drive for Penang 2030. And of course, from Penang 2030, a lot of other offshoots of documents, a lot of offshoots of structures that has been created out of that. For example, the social seed, Penang seed, is called Penang seed. Penang seed is something that was created by Penang Institute as well, which is the Penang strategy for economic ecosystem development, because we believe that in terms of helping industries grow is to help the ecosystem grow with it. Meaning to say, we have to tackle issues of the ecosystem and not just the industry itself. So that's basically how I'm just giving you some idea on the history of all this. Now, fast forward to all that is the launching the Penang State Economic Planning Unit. There's three institutions of the government that is involved in the setting up of this, which is the Penang State Economic Planning Unit, Penang Green Council, and Penang Institute. So these three institutions launched the Penang Green Agenda in 2021. And this is, of course, in response to the global climate change issues and evolving paradigm of sustainable development that we have in the world. This is, of course, a framework and roadmap for Penang to move as a state powered by the green economy. Next slide. So Penang, how does it work? So Penang Green Agenda, of course, driven by PGC, aims to bring together technical experts, scientists to look into the sustainability aspects in the Penang state, including developing sustainability indicators. This includes, for example, conducting a scenario analysis to assess the impacts of environmental issues on Penang, Penang State sustainability, and also it also helped engage all stakeholders and people of Penang to identify and combat the current and future environmental challenges of the state and proposing feasible solutions. So Green Agenda literally is envisioned to be this platform where all the research part of things and also the participation part of things, bringing stakeholders together in terms of coming up with solutions and coming up with collaborative structure to help this become a reality. Next slide. Now, the vision for Penang Green Agenda is that by 2030, Penang will become the greenest state in Malaysia. I know this sounds a bit ambitious, but I think as people who are in Penang, we would know that Penang is leading in terms of the green drive in Malaysia, simply because, as you know, Penang is very much central to the global supply chain in Malaysia. So whether we like it or not, we have to abide by all these compliance issues when it comes to ESG. So yeah, the vision for PGA 2030 is to have to become the greenest state in Malaysia, which is driven by a green economy and innovative governance with 4P partnerships: public, private, people, and professional, and sustainability-led development agenda. And further to beyond 2030 is by 2050, we hope that Penang will be a high-income, caring, inclusive, low-carbon, and resilient state that emphasizes the integrity of its people and environment, including enriching and restoring the health of its cultural and natural ecosystems, in line with the vision of 2030, Penang 2030, developed by Penang Institute. So all this, if I can try to argue, all this is actually coming all together into one linear progression. As I said, the main document of all this, which is Penang 2030, has already all the central elements that we are talking about for Penang Green Agenda. So basically, the realization of Penang Green Agenda is actually one of the subset of Penang 2030. Under PGA 2030, the state has achieved several milestones, not so much in terms of specific policies as such yet, but for example, it has one of the things is the formation of the Penang Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Task Force, which is called PREET, that is aimed at substantially increasing the uptake of renewable energy projects in Penang by 2030. PGA 2030 will introduce an effective and implementable framework, which includes regulations, bylaws, incentives, and assistance packages, as well as industry and sectoral policy. Of course, this is in progress, so we can watch this space. Among the goals, of course, are to advance the readiness of local manufacturing industries for the digital age and the green economy, as well as to modernize and diversify sustainable agriculture. In January 2022, to ensure that Penang leads the country in ESG compliance in a global environment that is increasingly aware of the devastating impact of climate change, Penang state government, through the PGC, launched the Penang Green Industry Program. So this is PGIP, and this is very much focused on the E&E sector. As you know, Penang leads Malaysia in terms of FDI, especially in the E&E sector. So inevitably, to regulate the industry and to make sure that the production and the exports of this industry will be unhindered, of course, because obviously a lot of the clients of this industry is in Europe, and of course, as we have seen in our previous presentations, there is a there's an increasingly serious adherence to ESG, so much so that PGIP is way above, way ahead of its, shall I say, peers in other states in coming up with a framework for this. So some of the activities of the PGIP so far, we have conducted on the 9th of May 2023 a roundtable on ESG and sustainability in the supply chain. This was placed by our Chief Minister. So within the whole ambit of this roundtable, of course, there's also partnership programs, basically linking up MNCs and LLCs with their SME counterparts in the supply chain. So this has basically also trickled down to all the respective excos in the Penang State Cabinet, where during MMK meetings, because obviously during the excos they hold regular meetings with stakeholders, especially from corporate sectors in the E&E. So one of the things that is imposed basically or encouraged by the state government is to have more linkages between MNCs, LLCs and SMEs in terms of procurement as well, in terms of getting sources locally. Now, the whole idea of this partnership between for MNCs and LLCs is to provide guidance and reassurance to the SME partners, because obviously from the MNC and LLC side, they don't need they don't need much hand guidance, because they have their own they have financially strong enough, and they have systems in place to come up with their ESG compliance. But for SMEs, as I think we know from the previous presentations, this is our main focus actually, because for them, they need to be convinced of the obvious advantages of ESG and to take advantage of the ESG ecosystem in terms of cost reduction, in terms of efficiency, and in terms of their prospects for exports in the near future. Anyway, so on the state government side, through PGC, incentives in the form of financing platforms and technology transfer will be made available for companies who plan to jump into the ESG bandwagon. And it's hoped that with these interventions, SMEs will be able to address key issues such as energy, water, waste, and eco-design that will help bring down the cost and enhance production systems. And in the near future, Penang State Government under PGC will embark on several strategies to solidify the ESG ecosystem in Penang. This includes the mapping and building the community of green technology company and tech providers in Malaysia to create more visibility for the community towards greater access of the global supply chain, and also incentivize other companies to start the ESG compliance process. As you know, this whole on the ESG side, there is for Penang State Government, it is very, very crucial for us to work together with federal agencies such as MIDA. Obviously, MIDA and MITI, of course, are spearheading this whole process of coming up with incentives for investors. And of course, for example, there is this thing called the SDG Investor Map, which is a MIDA initiative that helps in terms of mapping up the communities and the green financing available. So for Penang, we apart from, of course, devising policies or which is state specific, we also work very, very closely with the likes of the federal agencies to bring forth all these important progress for in terms of the things that we can promote in Penang. I would like to say certain things when it comes to strategies for the government, the Penang State Government. There are actually several strategies from the Penang State. Beyond, of course, talking about ESG, is, of course, as you know, this is as recent as yesterday, actually. The Chief Minister has come out with 7 strategies. Number 1 is the development of front-end manufacturing equipment. As you know, this is to develop the front-end manufacturing equipment, including encouraging R&D and design, design and development. So R&D and D&D activities among local companies. So that's 1. Number 2 is, of course, ESG orientation. This will never go away. This is going to be intensified in the near future. Number 3 is the establishment of industrial parks. The state government through PDC has established international class industrial parks such as Bandar Kasia Technology Park, Batu Kawan Industrial Park 3, BKIP 3, the Penang Science Park South, PSPS, and all this spans 852 acres. So that's on the industrial park side. Number 4 is a hand-holding program. So basically to help provide ease of doing business for current and potential investors. This, of course, we work hand in hand with MIDA. Number 5 is the IC Design and Digital Park. Obviously, as you know, we have been in the news when it comes to talking about Penang or Selangor when it comes to IC design, the IC design industry. So, of course, Penang has have announced plans for an IC Design and Digital Park in Bayan Lepas Industrial Park. So this project will encompass 42.5 hectares, consisting of 2 phases. So this is going to be a massive project for Penang. Number 6 is talent retention and development. Basically, initiatives such as Future Foundation Scholarship and Penang GBS Industry Academy, which is going to help carry out and retain develop existing talents and attract new talents in the state. So as you know, with all these great FDIs coming into Penang, we severely lack in terms of talents because of certain economic factors. So one of the things that Penang is trying to do is to work on retaining this talent and grow these talents. And lastly is international promotions. The state delegation has promoted Penang abroad by holding meetings and discussions with potential investors, trying to capitalize on the wave that is favoring Penang at the moment. So these are things that we are working on, and hopefully we will see the light of day at some point when it comes to our adherence to the whole ESG ecosystem. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.